The Dodgers waste a 9-game divisional lead and have sent yet another reliever to the injured list. The Chargers' offensive line continues to disintegrate before our very eyes, and it takes a little digging, but there is some optimism about the Kings' future. Good morning. I'm James, and this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is August 13th, 2025. Welcome back to the Sanctum Sanctorum of LA Sports, where we talk about the glory of Los Angeles even in bad times. So if you like being in the know about LA Sports, click and clack the like button. Click and clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It lets you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a quick look at the scoreboard. Bad night for the Angelenos. Anacrime 7, Dodgers 6 and 10. The Dodgers have squandered a 9-game lead in the NL West. They have only themselves to blame. Poof. Now, we're going to discuss momentarily a major reason why. Meanwhile, New York 105, Sparks 97, but the big story is Cameron Brink appears to be injured again. Her left knee, the same one that was surgically repaired and needed more than 13 months to heal. Yeah, the knee was wrapped by trainers in the first half, and she didn't play after that. But even after the knee was wrapped, the Sparks are claiming that it was an ankle injury. Meanwhile, today, the Dodgers are at the Angels at 6:30. So with that said, what do you say we get to the news? Because if piddling away that big lead in the NL West isn't enough, it is now time for your daily injured Dodger pitcher update. Brock Stewart, seen as a potential savior for a depleted bullpen. A bullpen that has pitched more innings than any other club in Major League Baseball. Well, Stewart was placed in the incompetent hands of pitching coach Mark Prior, and less than 2 weeks later, he's on the injured list with shoulder inflammation. Just like Roki Sasaki had shoulder inflammation that sidelined him for months, still sidelined. Just like Blake Snell had shoulder inflammation and only has recently come back. The inflammation that, by the way, cropped up in April. Just 4 appearances for Stewart after the dude rebuilt his entire career in Minnesota. And once again, Dodger brass is out there trying to spin this as, hey, it's no big deal. Because to the Dodgers, it's not the pitchers that need protection. No. It's Mark Prior that needs protection. Must protect the Prior. Must protect the precious. Andrew Friedman, for his part, spent his Tuesday afternoon whistling past the graveyard, saying he wasn't worried about the pitching, prior to allowing 7 runs to the Angels. He claimed that the team caught the inflammation in Stewart's shoulder, quote, at the very front end. We're optimistic that he'll be back, unquote. Oh, really? Because in addition to about 10,000 Dodgers starting pitchers undergoing Tommy John surgery, Stewart joins a list of 5 other Dodger relievers on the injured list for long term. Evan Phillips is already out for the year. Meanwhile, we're all crossing our fingers waiting for Brusdar Graterol, Michael Kopech, Tanner Scott, and Kirby Yates. For somebody to get out of the hospital room, take off the gown, put on a Dodger gear, and start getting guys out. Now, if you want to know what has led to the Dodgers piddling away a massive lead in the division, this is it. And we've been talking about it for months. Not that anybody in the front offices over at Chavez Ravine are hearing it. As a result, Edgardo Enriquez was recalled from AAA. Dave Roberts said the newbie is already going to be used in high-leverage situations. Enriquez was ranked as the 17th best prospect in the Dodger system, according to MLB.com. He's already had Tommy John surgery, by the way, which seems like a prerequisite to pitch for LA. He's a converted starter. A scouting report that I read says he has closer stuff. And by the way, if you're wondering about closing now, know that Alex Vesia blew a save last night. Tony Gonsolin, we hardly knew ye. 7 appearances, and the dude, well, he's gone for the year. The Athletic reported Gonsolin underwent an internal brace procedure on his pitching elbow Tuesday. And I know a thing or two about sectional anatomy, but I'll be damned if I'll be able to tell you what an internal brace procedure is. Gonsolin had been on the injured list since June after he had come back from Tommy John surgery. This time, recovery is supposed to be about 8 to 10 months, which means maybe he'll be at spring training. Again, after only pitching in 7 games this year. But again, must protect the precious. Must protect the prior. Now, if you're looking for any good news, I can tell you that Bobby Miller seems to have responded well to being pushed to the bullpen in the minors. He's pitched 6 consecutive scoreless innings for the Midwest Manure Pit. I don't know if that means he's on the next flight to civilization, but some. MLB.com is also reporting that the Dodgers minor league system is back at number 1 in all of baseball. They hadn't held that top spot in a couple of years. Now, look, we've gone through the names of top Dodger prospects repeatedly this year, so I don't want to repeat everybody. You pretty much already know them. But I can tell you the Dodgers are considered to have the best prospect pool of outfielders. 4 of them were in the top 100 prospects, and that was before the Dodgers acquired James Tibbs at the trade deadline. They've already promoted Tibbs to Double-A, by the way. Finally, I am aware that Shohei Ohtani and his agent are getting sued regarding a development in Hawaii, and I don't care. Because people in real estate love them some lawsuits. I mean, our current president is a real estate guy. How many lawsuits has he been in? Exactly. The idea that Ohtani, in between batting practice and bullpen sessions, is cooking the books on a Section 8 complex somewhere on the mean streets of Honolulu, color me skeptical. So lots of Dodger news to discuss. Let me know what you think. You know, for all the panic over Rashawn Slater's knee exploding, and frankly, panic is warranted, something that seems to be overlooked over at Charger camp is Mekhi Becton hasn't practiced in more than 2 weeks. Becton, the guy who was supposed to solidify a Chargers interior offensive line that acted like an escort service for Houston pass rushers in the wild card round. He was the big money addition during the offseason. The Chargers, by the way, are acting like the dude is going to be no probs. He'll be there for week 1. But what they also say is there's no timetable for his return to practice, which begs the obvious question. If there's no timetable for him to return to practice, what makes you think he's going to be ready for week 1? Anyone? And as per usual with the Bolts, we don't even know why Becton hasn't been on the field. We have no idea. They're not saying. Jamari Salyer is currently the next man up, but the problem is they are running out of next men. The Chargers revealed yesterday, though, that they do have a contingency plan about running back. If Najee Harris isn't ready to go in week 1, then rookie Omarion Hampton will get the carries because, duh. Now, Harris, you may recall, damn near blasted out his eye July 4th like Gus Fring in Breaking Bad. Offensive coordinator Greg Roman said if Harris, who rushed for 3,000-yard seasons in Pittsburgh before signing with the Chargers, can't go, Hampton will get the load. And then he listed about 4 other guys who will probably get a lot of carries as well. I don't buy that because among those 4 randos, one of them muffed 2 punts in Saturday's exhibition. So maybe not. It's going to be Hampton. Now, as for Harris, he is starting to run at practice because maybe, just maybe, he can actually see a wall before he steams into it. Thing is, dude posted a pic on social media less than a week ago. His eye was welded shut, which is kind of gross if you think about it. Meanwhile, on defense, coordinator Jesse Minter said that yes, the Chargers will often run a 5 defensive back alignment, just like they did last year, 3 safeties, but he has no idea yet who the 2 cornerbacks are going to be. Quote, not really that close, unquote. That's what he told The Athletic. Quote, I think that there's a bunch of guys doing some good things, but there are some inconsistencies there, unquote. I acknowledge that I joined legions of Kings fans pooping all over their offseason with new general manager Ken Holland. And that was crapping all over former general manager Rob Blake, wasting away one of the best prospect pools that the franchise ever had on Pierre-Luc Dubois. So yeah, I get it. I've been a negative Nancy. But NHL.com is saying there are Kings who should make the jump from the Inland Empire to LA this year, starting with winger Liam Greentree. Now, player personnel director Glenn Murray said there's no rush on Greentree. People who have seen Greentree play, though, they're saying otherwise. They're saying that dude is going to push for a roster spot. Others who could or should get to the NHL this year include forward prospect Martin Chromiak and goalie Eric Portillo. Now, Portillo did get a spot start with the Kings last year. He might get a larger role this time around. Bradley Beal told the Scribes that he signed with the Clippers because, quote, I need a ring, unquote. Needs a ring. Bradley Beal needs a ring. Being on that old-ass roster, he would also need a walker, multiple prescriptions from Hims, Metamucil, house slippers, maybe a TV remote with those big buttons so he doesn't get confused. Maybe a photo album with all those cherished memories from when he was a young man. All the oatmeal he could eat. That, all of that, and a ring. That's what Bradley Beal needs. And if you really want to reward Bradley Beal, aside from making sure he gets a ring, which I really doubt he's going to get on that roster of old geezers, I will tell you this much. I hear old people really like the convenience of a bidet. Just saying. By the way, I don't hate the Clippers. They're just the oldest team in NBA history, and you think we're not going to notice? You think we're not going to notice all those bald heads, all those, what do the women call them, silver foxes out on the court? It's like, we already know, by the way, switching topics, we already know LAFC took advantage of the transfer window by going big on an international superstar. Not a bad idea, right? So the LA Times asked Galaxy general manager Will Kuntz what he has planned. Quote, I don't foresee us doing anything, unquote. Because, you know, that wooden spoon is really something you want in the trophy case next to that 6th MLS Cup. You know what I mean? Gotta go get that wooden spoon. Put that next to the crest, right? But what the hell? You let me know what you think in the comments thread, because I admit, this was a tough day for the Angelenos to swallow. What do you think about the Dodgers bullpen and that 9-game lead going poof? For that matter, what do you think of the Chargers offensive line? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.